Well, my name's Tim Colussy, and I'm one of the owners here at Colussy Chevrolet. So the business has been around for 100 years now. We started in 1918. We'll be celebrating our 100th anniversary. Our great-grandfather immigrated here from Italy. They were from northern Italy, and they wanted to make a better life for themselves. Really what started the love of the automobile was they started buying trucks for their business. It wasn't too long after that, in the 1916s, that he started to buy and sell cars. And in 1917, he actually got the Elgin franchise. And then a year later, he was able to get the Chevrolet franchise here in Bridgeville and became a Chevrolet dealer in 1918. My grandfather was Albert Colussy, and he was the eldest son, as I said, and he started the business. Albert was really known as a nice guy. He took care of customers, and he was, as I say, a very hands-on dealer. He worked on cars as well as sold the cars, and believed in his customers and wanted to be a part of the community. The Colussy brothers were extremely hardworking. Albert, Gilbert, and Art all worked well together.
My grandfather and his brothers, their commitment to hard work, their leadership that made Colussy Chevrolet succeed, their vision, along with our employees. You know, it's not so much us as owners. We try to give a vision and direction, but our employees ultimately make us what we are.
Well, like many family businesses, it was the center of their lives. So my dad grew up in the business, and they actually lived at the dealership. Literally, their apartment was on the second floor of the business.
Back then, Albert was like the foreman of the garage. He ran the garage, and we did a lot more than what you'd ever do right now. I mean, I remember when we put box cabs. People were sleeping in trucks, and we'd go out and they'd change their box, take their box off a mail truck and put it on in the middle of winter. Baldwin Street was the main street of Bridgeville at one time. I mean, they didn't have no Washington Avenue or nothing. It was just all dirt roads and no buildings. But Baldwin Street started out, and like I said, every empty space there was a building on at one time. I've been with Colussy Chevrolet Incorporated for 54 years. And it was a wonderful experience, and I'm still working. And you never had to worry about work, because the work was always here. I can actually say that, and still is. I mean, you don't build them, you just fix them.
All of the Colussys, I think, as we look back, they weren't the typical hard sell, flashy car salesman type people. They were very down to earth, low-key, and as far as their personalities were concerned. We really have had a focus on the customer first, and certainly that's the way our dad was.
Baldwin Street was like the main street of Bridgeville. It was everybody had a good business was on Baldwin Street. One great thing about Colussy, their parts department was one of the best parts departments probably in western Pennsylvania. Art Colussy and Pete Delpiston, what a great job those guys did over the years.
What's special about our service department is, I'd have to say, the people. I'd say out of the dealership, you'd find a lot of our longtime employees stationed out of our service and parts department. You know, the amount of work and training they go through and is required of them so that our clientele has the best possible care for their vehicles is something that we really take pride in here at Colussy Chevrolet.
They've been selling Chevys for a long time. And truthfully, you talk to somebody, I ride down this road and I look at a car in front of me and I see Colussy on a license plate. I see a car coming toward me, Colussy on a license plate, and I think I'm not the only one that's bought a lot of cars here.
A certain amount of humility that comes into when you've got a business. If you really want it to be successful long term, you know it's not about you. It's about your customer, it's about your employees, it's about doing the right thing.
I can say this to this day, I've never sent anybody in here that wanted to buy a Chevrolet and didn't walk out buying a car. And that's saying something.
That's the the culture that we try to have here, is that we're all one big family.
I think one thing that differentiates us from a lot of other dealers, especially these days, is the family atmosphere that we've created. A lot of things are going to change with the product and maybe the way cars are purchased. I think what will stay the same is our values, the way we treat our customers.
We anticipate there being a lot of change over the next few years and maybe 100 years to come, but the center of who we are as a business will always have that family atmosphere and this family dynamic.
It's truly amazing to see, starting in 1918, Colussy Chevrolet would have had vehicles similar to what you would see in our showroom. Now, in 2018, we have vehicles, electric, being rolled out like the Volt and the Bolt, and where they're moving forward is quite amazing.
I'm John Koski, and I've been dealing with Colussy Chevrolet since 1935 and on up till today.
They make you feel comfortable and make you feel like you're at home. And you can look back and 2018 this year, 100-year anniversary, and you can really look back and see why they stayed in business for 100 years.
I mean, to be in business for 100 years through generations, everybody knows that's hard to do. And they're doing it, and they're doing it successfully, and still looks like it's going to continue on for another generation at least. I think that's amazing.
Oh, I just smacked you in the We are the 5th generation Colussys.
We are 4th generation Colussys.
And we want to thank you.
Thank you.